Hello, I'm Cambridge English teacher Rory, or Cambridge Rory from studentlanguages.com, and in today's video I'm going to be marking a CAE, that's C1 Advanced, review for the writing paper. This is part 2 of the writing paper, and when you're in the exam, this is from a sample paper. One of my students sent me to mark, and they did their answer from this sample paper. This is what it looks like. You have part 2, introduction here, where it says write an answer to one of the questions 2 to 4. I've removed 2 and 3 because the student is answering question 4. So write an answer to one of the questions 2 to 4 in this part. Write your answer in 220 to 260 words in an appropriate style on the separate answer sheet. So here is question 4. A travel website has asked you to write a review of a holiday resort you have been to, explaining what kinds of people the resort is likely to appeal to, and which aspect of the resort you would most recommend to other visitors. Okay, so there's 2 main things: what kind of people we appeal to, which aspects are the best. You should also suggest at least one way in which you feel the resort could be improved. Okay, so 3 main things to do. Okay, write your review. So let's see if they've answered those 3 main points, shall we? The original answer, I'm going to make some corrections here as I go through it, and I'm also going to add my comments to the examiner's assessment scale template, giving it a mark from 1 to 5, which I'll finally add up, and we can see whether we think it's a pass or a fail. So here we go. Last summer, I spent my holidays in Tenero. Sorry if my pronunciation is bad. A small village in the Italian part of Switzerland, next to the Lake Maggiore. Yes. Okay. We normally just say actually next to Lake Maggiore, or next to Lake Garda, or next to Lake Windermere in English. As soon as I had arrived, this is good English, good comparison. I noticed the high number of camping sites surrounding the bay. Okay. Obviously, this could lead to the assumption that mostly people with campers or tents are appealed to this resort. Okay, that mostly people with campers or tents are appealed to this resort. Yeah. I wouldn't put a comma here. I would just say that mostly people with campers or tents, and then put a comma here, are appealed to this resort. Like this. Campers, I don't know why I'd say that. I think it's okay to say campers. You can also say camper vans if you want to be more specific. In fact, yeah, it probably is better to be more specific, because campers can also mean people camping in tents. So maybe I would say, just to make it more obvious, with campers, with camper vans or tents are appealed to this resort. Yeah, interesting. We don't usually use appealed in the passive. This is why Google's thinking it's a present continuous appealing. We normally say this in the active voice, like this resort appealed to, or appealed to someone. But yeah, we don't really use it in passive. So as an alternative word, could say, obviously this could lead to the assumption that mostly people with camper vans or tents are attracted. You could use attracted, we're using the passive voice, to this resort. I would also just say as soon as I arrived, because it's immediately after you arrive. If you have things which happen very close together in time, And also if you have lots of things which happen, one thing, another thing, another thing, another thing, often what we do is we just use past simple in English. Past simple, past simple, past simple. As soon as I arrived, I noticed the high number of camping sites surrounding the bay. Obviously, this could lead to the assumption that mostly people with campfires or tents are attracted to this resort. But there is much more to be explored and experienced than just the small space of the camping site. Yes, okay. Just go back and have a look at the question to remind ourselves. Travel website has asked you to write a review of a holiday resort you've been to. Okay, so it can be quite informal, a kind of personal feeling for a website, especially a review website, explaining what kinds of people the resort is likely to appeal to. Okay, so yeah, we're kind of answering that. It might appeal to camper vans and tents, at least that's what it seems like at the beginning. And then we'll get on to the other points shortly. Probably. Presumably, if it's a good review. So, if it's a good answer to this question. But there is much more to be explored and experienced than just the small space of the camping site. First of all, the lake itself provides many activities like swimming, stand-up paddling, or eating. Yeah, paddle boarding, I think it could be called. So maybe in a modern sense, this is okay to say paddling like this. But maybe I would say stand-up paddle boarding. This is kind of new sport, this one. So it's not so... I think the language around it may change a little bit over the coming years. But yeah, at the moment I would say paddle boarding. Sup. I think it might be called stand-up. Yeah, stand-up paddle. Or eating. First of all, the lake itself. This is good, first of all. I'm going to add a couple comments into here. Organisation, so we're talking about first of all. In addition, I think it's the beginning of the next paragraph, I saw that. Paragraphs are clearly separated. The introduction indicates that the writer will continue to answer the question. Yeah, it's based around the question introduction, which is good. So back to this. Stand-up paddleboarding or eating delicious food in restaurants next to the bank. Interestingly, bank we usually use for river bank, and with a lake we usually use the word side. I'd maybe say next to the side of the lake rather than the bank of the lake, but it's okay, I think, to use bank for lake also. So I'm going to leave it, but just for a sort of FYI note, we usually say riverbank and lakeside. The mountains surrounding the lake invite visitors to hike, bike, and look for animals. Okay. Nice. Hike, bike, and look for animals. Good. Moreover, there are several small rivers running down the hills. Along these, there are beautiful places for bathing, having a picnic, or just relaxing. Yeah. It's very formal, this. Okay, it could be formal if it's for a formal website, I suppose, but I feel like you could maybe make the language a little bit more personal, so the reader feels a bit more engaged in it. This is quite a bit structured, I'd say. Not structured, just a bit too formal, I think. The writing could be made more personal to connect better with the readers of the website. More interesting, almost. More engaging. This is good. Moreover, along these good linking phrases. It's a range of cohesive devices are used throughout in order to structure the writing on a sentence and wider paragraph level. For example, linking words, like these linking words and phrases, and these also. Along these, there are beautiful places for bathing, having a picnic, or just relaxing. In addition, many activities are suitable for children. Okay. Well, this is all good. You're not really saying at the moment, though, that you think maybe you're still kind of answering what kinds of people the report would visit to, but which aspects you would most recommend to other visitors. I try to make this a bit clearer, to be honest. I'd most recommend, like saying that, I would most recommend, maybe in different words. But at the moment you're kind of just listing things that they can do rather than saying these are the things that I really recommend and suggest. So I think that can be made a bit stronger. That comes into communicative achievement a bit as well. It's kind of a combination of organisation and content. The communication with the reader could be improved by using more personal language and being more specific with recommendations and suggestions. So I mean, this is good words. It invites visitors to do that. But you should back it up by saying, which I think are the selling points of the resort, for example. Okay. Many activities are suitable for children. Okay. The attraction, okay, this is good. The attraction I definitely recommend is the Bull Path walk along the river. Verkaska. Pronunciation might be bad. Okay, interesting. The Bull Path walk. Don't really understand what that is. You can buy a wooden ball in the village and then go uphill by bus where it starts. Okay, so I presume this means you take a bus up the hill and then you get to the start point. That's what this sentence means to me. During the walk downhill, yeah, okay, towards Tenero. There are many fantastic bull baths to explore. Okay, now we're saying bull bath rather than bull path. I don't know what this is, so it would be good if you could explain it better. What is it? What is a bull path or what is a bull bath? I don't actually understand. And again, the communicative achievement. The third paragraph is better in terms of explaining a recommendation, but its explanation needs to be improved. Okay, we need to put some words here, like, and that is why many tourists spend their vacation there. Okay. They produce a lot of waste, which bothered me. Okay. They produce a lot of waste, which bothered me. Yeah, it would bother me too, personally. Therefore, I suggest the responsible people for tourism. Yeah. better to say the people responsible for tourism. The people who are responsible for tourism should develop a concept to reduce waste. Yes, okay, good, good. And that's answering the, it's just at least one way in which you feel the resort could be improved. Good, it's fine. As a summary, put a comma. I can say that people and families who enjoy active and naturalistic holidays should definitely visit Tenerife. Okay. But please mind the waste. Yep, good. Okay, so there are good aspects of this writing. I feel like I've already mentioned throughout the parts which could be improved, which would link it together better in terms of its communication. I feel like I can not quite give that a 3, just a 2. The organization is good, the way it's structured, the paragraphs. It's obvious that what you're trying to do with each paragraph. It's just the detail within the paragraphs which could be improved a bit to make them more clear sometimes that you're recommending, for example, in this second paragraph. And yeah, and also to have a bit of a better, well, yeah, but the organization of the paragraphs is good. It's just the details within which needs to be improved. And language, again, I think it's fine. It can be improved in terms of its connection with the audience. As I said here, more personal, to connect with readers. But the actual words and phrases, as a summary, are good enough, I think. Yeah, perhaps you could try and use a few more less well-known words and phrases, would be one comment I would make. But the language, I think, is good enough, and therefore I give it a 3. The organisation is fine, actually, so I give that a 3 as well. It's just the details within, as I've been saying, which are letting you down a bit in terms of content and communicative achievement. I can see that you're trying to address the points in the question, so but they're not quite being addressed well enough. This is the point. And again, you come back to it in the conclusion, like you say, well, actually you don't come back to it. You say that it would be good for families who enjoy naturalistic holidays and active. So this is what you need to pick up on more in this paragraph. And say it would appeal to these people and connect more with the audience at that point. And I think that would improve it and get that up to a 3, and the communicative achievement also could be moved up to a 3 through doing similar work there, and also through explaining this a bit better, what this is. That would help with content and communicative achievement as well. And the communicative achievement could also be improved, similar to the language, by sort of using language which relates to the audience a little bit more. So those are my comments. I will add a couple more here after I finish recording. Let's just have a look then. 2233 down here. Just 4, 7, 10. So yeah, a couple marks more. We could pull those both up to a 3 for content and communicative achievement. That would be better, and that would be getting you a pass, provided that your part 1 answer is also at least 12 out of 20. So I hope you found this video useful, and yeah, if you enjoyed it, then feel free to send me some more. I've been Cambridge English teacher Rory, or Cambridge Rory from studentlanguages.com. Bye bye.